What if I told you that in order to take time off your business, you do not have to save the traditional way? I'm going to be sharing with you how I've built a full system in my business that actually funds my vacations. And so, if this is something that you're interested in and you are ready to take off of your business, then this is for you. Hey, it's been a couple of years since I have talked about my infamous Abundant CEO Fund. And so, if you're new here, hello, my name is Dr. TK, licensed clinical psychologist and therapist business mentor. Now, I started introducing the Abundant CEO Fund back in 2021. And what I used to do is do some education around how entrepreneurs can take time off their business without it burning down to the ground, set up structure for actual time off, get a reset, feel abundant with your time off, and then come back refreshed. And so, with that in mind, as I am actually preparing right now for a summer travel vacation with my family, along with some other family and friends, I thought that this would be a perfect time to actually bring this series back. So let me be clear. This is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I want you to talk to your money team. That could be your tax professional, your CPA, your bookkeeper, but you talk to your money team. I will be sharing with you what I've built with my money team. And by all means, get your pen and paper out, take your notes because you probably gonna have some questions for your team as well. So today I'll be sharing a very simple framework that I have personally used in my business to build a business that supports my life. So the way that we're going to introduce this framework is I want you to imagine my friend Mickey. Based off where we're going for our family vacation, I thought that this would be a cool way and also for it to stick in terms of how you're going to apply what we're talking about today. So when you visualize Mickey, you see a face, you see a nose, you see two ears, right? Those are the things that stand out the most outside of his smile. And that's exactly what we're going to do to apply the framework. Now, you do want to have your pen and paper because I am going to be telling you percentages to apply to these particular areas of Mickey so that it can make sense when we talk about the Abundant CEO Fund. So, the first piece that I want you to look at is his actual face, his head. That is the biggest part. And the percentage that's going to be allocated to his head is 60. So what this means is approximately 60% of the money that is generated in your business actually supports your business. This could include, but not limited to, payroll, including yours, business operating expenses, software, contractors, employees, day-to-day operations, any type of CRM or systems that you use to help you run your business. So that is 60%. Pretty self explanatory. Now we're going to move over to the left ear. Let's allocate approximately 15%. With that 15% in that left ear, we are looking at your investment fund. Your investment fund are things that you go to in terms of pulling money out of that pot because you want to invest in coaching. Maybe you need to learn a skill set. You need to take a course. Maybe you want to go to a live event to help you grow your business or do something particular in your business. Maybe you want to attend a conference. Maybe you want to buy some books online. Maybe you're paying for Audible, certifications, anything that increases your knowledge and skill set. The money would be pulled out of that fund. And the goal is already there. That way, if you're scrolling online, you go to a webinar, you go to a live event online or in person, at least you know you have a set of money sitting on the side where you can actually pull from, I'm sure, after you consult with your money team about how that particular thing is going to help you grow or scale your business. Now, let's shift over to the right ear. So the right ear, you want to think about it in terms of your business funds, in terms of long money. So this can include, but not limited to, your tax money, right? It could be your general savings account for other things that you and your money team decide that you need to save for. It is your business reserves. And so I want you to talk to your money team or the person who's over your finances in your business about how would they suggest that your percentages be divided up. Because if you have 15%, or maybe they say 20, maybe they say 25, then you want to get a clear understanding of what is all included in this pot of money, or is it all taxes. But remember, everyone's business is going to look different. Now, my most favorite part, the nose. It's the smallest piece, but it is worth 10% for you as the CEO. And so this is what I call the abundant CEO fund. So the point of building a CEO fund is to make sure that the CEO, the visionary, is actually enjoying their life as a result of the business that they have built. And so it creates margin. It also creates the space for you to rest, reflect, reset in the year or throughout the year. And so you can create CEO days. I've done that where there are half days or full days where I'm completely off my business and I do things to rejuvenate myself. I'll also do what's called CEO retreats. Now, CEO retreats is actually going to show up in a lot of my blogs that I've done in the past. I will link actually my last summer series that we did in Hawaii last year, because half of that trip was actually dedicated for me as a CEO. And I break down what I did in my mornings for that CEO retreat time. But typically for me personally, it is in the middle of the year for a reflection and a reset. And then it's also at the end of the year. So that way I'm walking into the new year feeling fresh, feeling grounded. But other ideas that you can use this pot of money for after consulting with your money team is also your planning days. One thing that I've told my clients is, let's just say they're writing a book. Sometimes working from home or working in the same office space is boring. It's not inspirational, but maybe you don't need to go to a crowded location like a coffee shop because then you'll get distracted. But maybe you can check into a very nice hotel for 1 or 2 nights and just work on the one project and get it done while also practicing rest. Okay. But other things that you can do on your CEO days or retreats is you can do, like I said earlier, do some reflection. So right now it is mid-year and we can look at what is the next 6 months going to be like for our business. We want to reflect on our numbers. And then for me, outside of meeting with my team, I need to specifically reset as the visionary of the company because there may have been some changes in our goals from the beginning of the year to now. It is also your time to be creative. And so it doesn't always have to be in front of the laptop. Sometimes being from Southern California and being a Disney Magic Key holder, which is a fancy word for annual pass holder with my youngest son, sometimes I get rejuvenated just by getting out the home office and going to Disneyland. Sometimes on a Thursday at 12 o'clock, maybe he gets out of school early on that day. And we just hang out for a couple of hours. I get inspiration just being out of my home environment because I'm considered a work from home wife and mom. Majority of my work is actually right here in this office. And so I need to take some time away from this environment so that I can be inspired. So when we pull this all together, because I am a wife and a mom first, I've chosen to combine my CEO retreats with my family experiences. And so I am going to share what I have created with my money team. And of course, you can hear this, but make sure you just don't copy it and that you make sure that you are within the structure of your business. And so my husband has worked in our company since a little bit before I went out on maternity leave. 4 months early than expected. That was in 2017. So he's worked in my mental health company. He's also worked in my coaching business. My children are also part of our team. Our eldest, he's part of our business from time to time when we need help with cameraman, live events when he's there, and things like that. My youngest son is a little bit more involved. He is on the marketing team. When you look at my social media, when you look at my vlogs, my family is very much part of my brand because my brand is not just I'm teaching you how to build a profitable business. I am also teaching you how to design a life first business. And I like to show proof while also creating a legacy vault for my family so that you can see what abundance, at least to me, looks like. And then you can take that for inspiration and then create your own. So because my family is part of my structure, it has allowed me to include them in my CEO retreats. And remember, everybody's business looks different. So consult with your team. So pay your people if you do have family members that are part of your business or maybe clearly part of your nonprofit. Make sure you structure that correctly. But at the end of the day, make sure that you build intentionally. Now, listen, if you are already thinking about taking time away from your business, and if you do not have proper systems set up so that your business can still run, especially if you are a mental health provider like myself, to a certain percentage on its own or automated, I would highly recommend that you check below this video and you grab the Abundant Vacation Guide. Now, what it includes specifically for mental health therapists are templates, standard operating procedures, whether you have a private practice or a group practice. It includes checklists. A lot of these things are very simple, but they are overlooked because we're just trying to get outside the office. But ultimately, it is a very simple planning tool that can guide you for every single season that you want to take off your business so that when you come back, you will have a business to come back to. So make sure that you click the link below and grab the Abundant Vacation Guide. Now, I want to talk to you about life seasons. With that Abundant CEO fund, you have it for at least 10%. Now, that is going to change depending on your life season. So, for example, in one era, that abundance fund became my maternity fund. Maybe it can be your summer break fund because you want to be off for the whole summer or half of the summer with your family, with your kids. Let's dream big. Maybe it's a vehicle. For me, I go out of my home at least once every quarter. And in some quarters, it feels like it's back to back, especially on the tail end of the year. It just feels like I'm gone every 2 weeks, either in state or on the East Coast. And so, with that in mind, when I'm driving a lot, let's just say if I wanted to purchase a vehicle for my company because I'm in the community a lot. Again, talk to your money team, but what pot of money could you go in and take that money from when it comes down to the abundance fund? But the point of all of this is that you are very intentional with how you invest your money in your business. And you want to allocate your money even before you get it, because I believe that when money has an assignment, it knows exactly where to go. And that means that you are attracting more money to come and bigger money to come. So, again, I just wanted to reintroduce this abundant CEO framework because we are headed, at least at the time of this video, into what I'll call summer time off, travel time for most of my audience, my community members, which are service providers, therapists, and women. And so over the next several videos, I will be taking you as a heads up behind the scenes of what work life integration actually looks like. And so I'm going to share with you how do I prepare my business before I leave. I'm also going to be sharing with you systems that I use, and you'll probably hear me talk about that sprinkled through any type of travel video. I will also be sharing our travel days, our destination, and who we're linking up with, and honestly, how to just have fun. You don't always have to be in CEO mode in terms of being on the laptop. You can capture content on your phone and have a good time and then save it and post it later. So I am going to save a lot of the surprises for the vlogs that are going to be coming up. But just note, you definitely want to subscribe and you want to stay tuned because we are going to have a grand on time. Now, if you are also not following me on Instagram, a lot of the time, at least within 24 hours for travel, I typically will upload over there a lot faster, clearly, than it takes me to gather all the footage and upload it to YouTube. And so if you want to stay in the know with what's happening with our countdown to travel and just what does it take to prepare on a daily basis, then definitely stay connected. I do a lot of mini educational content over there with carousels and streams of income and things like that, as well as masterclasses right here. So let me ask you, where do you want to travel this summer? And if you don't have any plans to leave your area, what can you do that either is low investment, low cost, or maybe even for free, that is very different than your regular daily life? I do want to know. I love talking about travel destinations. And if you want to be extra, tell me where you really want to go that's on your vision board. I want to hear about these dream destinations so that we can dream together. So, again, if you are a therapist, a service provider, you have a solo practice, or a group practice, or maybe you are stepping into that season and you want to learn how to take a vacation that feels abundant, that helps you rejuvenate yourself, and that also makes sure that you have a business to come back to, I would highly recommend that you get that Abundant Vacation Guide right below. Subscribe to the channel, like this video if you've enjoyed this content, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.